Washington, D.C. has its own American men's soccer club, and it's called DC United. It was founded back in 1994, and it's quite successful. It has won 4 MLS Cups, and it's the most successful overall club in American soccer. It used to play in RFK Stadium, but now it's at its own ball field, and we're going to check out Audi Field to help you understand exactly what you can expect should you ever decide to visit. The first hurdle you're going to face in coming here is you're going to likely have to pay for parking, or you're going to have to take the Shoe Leather Express and park some distance away from the stadium like we had to do right here. But if you're going to park anywhere close to the stadium, you can pay anywhere from $40 to $60. Your best bet is to take the metro and walk it to the stadium. As you can see looking around, much of the area is under construction, so hopefully that will free up things in the next couple of years. But for right now, parking is going to be a major problem. If you have ever gone to a soccer game in Europe, it has a certain energy to it. You're not necessarily going to find that here in the United States. The king of sports is going to be American football. Soccer, not so much. But however, you do have a lot of people from all over the world that really enjoy soccer, and that's who's going to be your major fan base, along with a lot of Americans who really enjoy soccer. And it's a fun experience coming here, and my job is to help you understand what you can expect and how exactly you can make the best use of your time, and is it worth your money and your time. You just saw some general shots of the field, and we're at Audi Field, and it's not a bad looking soccer field at all. Earlier, they used to play games at RFK, and it was really too big of an arena for a soccer team that was just starting out, even though in their early years, they were very successful. Now, here's my first pro tip. Do not bring a bag like this, because if you do, you're gonna have to check it in and pay for one of these lockers. If the will call is right there at the very front, very easy to get your tickets, and this is the front gate, what it looks like. We are just about to get in and get started watching the game. This is my first time to a DC United soccer game and my first time to Audi Field, and I have to admit my seats are not very good. I'm interested to see what the game experience is going to be like all the way up in the top bleachers. This is me walking to my seats, and for the most part, there's only stuff to buy and DC United merchandise. If you want an entree, expect to pay around $20 to $25. That's going to get you a burger, some fries, and a soda. Those of you who are familiar with my channel know that I specialize in fun and interesting things for individuals and families to do in the DC metro area. So if you're thinking about a visit to the Washington, DC area, please check out my channel for dozens of interesting things to do. Before we get to our seats, let's talk a little bit about Audi Field. It is a specific soccer stadium. Although soccer is not the only sport they play here, there's more than one team other than DC United that plays here. The Washington Spirit, which is a ladies soccer team for Washington, DC, they also play here, along with the Defenders of the XFL. Now, the stadium is not very large. We're looking at maybe 20,000 people, and I think just by hearing the roar of the crowd, we're looking at 20,000 loyal fans. Now, this is not my seat, but one of the things I like is that you can get a great view right on the ground floor, and you can almost feel like you're right there with the players because the stadium is so small, it feels almost intimate. Now, you may recall I said it wasn't great seats, and this is what I mean. We're going far up there, but this is the view. It's a really spectacular view. You get the whole entire field, and because the stadium is so small, you really feel that you're close to it and you're part of the action. We never felt like we were sitting way up in the bleachers, even though we were. It's an excellent, exceptional view. So even with the worst seats at the stadium, you're really gonna get a spectacular view of the soccer game. Well, as far as how much tickets cost, it all depends. If the team is doing really well, then you're gonna pay more. If not, then a lot less. Our tickets were about $20 each. Every time they scored, they set off fireworks, and thankfully DC United won that game. Admittedly, I am not a big soccer fan, but my son is, and there are lots of kids in the DC metropolitan area who play soccer, and I strongly recommend that you take them here to see what a professional game looks like. Again, we had a terrific time while we were here. If I had to say there was one critique, I would say this, that the lines at the concession stand, in my opinion, were very long. It seems like everyone who was there was buying food that day. I hope that with it being such a small soccer club, I would be able to have my son meet one of the soccer players after the game. We searched everywhere and we were not able to find one. One of the things I liked there was that it was a really fun and charged atmosphere. My son had a terrific time. This is him after the game, just banging on some drums by a spectator who brought them there. It was just, the people there were really, really excited when it came to, their soccer. The biggest downside was after the game, just taking that long walk back to my car. Again, the best way for you to get here is going to be the metro. Overall, we had a great time. It's not just because we won, it's just the whole entire experience was terrific, and especially that my son really enjoys soccer. It was particularly meaningful to him, and I, who don't know anything about soccer, had a wonderful time. Definitely recommend it. I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars.